Namaskar, this is my third lecture. Let me talk a little bit about what the structure of this lecture will be. It will take a while to get to where my point is. My point is to show that feminism or feminist theory has to talk about genocide, and Hindu genocide, Yazidi genocide, all these are unspoken genocide. There have been holocausts that have been spoken about and those that have not been spoken about. And as someone whose family went through ethnic cleansing in what was previously East Pakistan and then Bangladesh, my focus will be mostly Hindu genocide and why it should be part of any feminist theory. So in order to do that, I have to first explain what feminist theory is, and that will take a few lectures to do it. Then I'll talk about the definition of genocide as given by Lemkin and adopted by the United Nations, and then we'll get to application of those in some cases of Hindu genocide. So all these will build up one on top of the other, so it'll take a while, and please be patient. Now, I talked about the liberalism, how it came into existence in Europe. And then I went back and talked about Aristotle and the oikos and the polis and so forth. Now I'm going to go back to how liberalism came into Europe. This is pre-French Revolutionary society. Divine command. It's no longer a Greek society, no longer a polis, it's a Christian society. So there's a book, there is a divine command. Then the king is a representative of the divine, the nobility and the hoi polloi. So the commandments are coming top down. This was the structure. Now what did the French Revolution do? It made a binary between the public and the private. The public is identified with the state, and there is a sphere of privacy of the individual. What belongs to the private? The institution, the church, because that's the majority religion, and then the market, the family, civil society, and so forth. Now remember one thing, secularism does not do away with religion. It's not atheism, it just privatizes it. It puts it in the private sphere. You can practice it here, but it should not be connected to the state. Now, it is within this context we have to understand feminism. The feminism that I'm going to talk about today is one type of feminism. It's called liberal feminism. And what is this liberal feminism? Now let's look at this liberalism that came in with John Locke and Rousseau and so forth. In this the liberalism, one of the things is we have the right, the ordinary people has the right to choose the representative of the state. So it is not divine command, did not put the king, the monarch. It's not hereditary. We will choose who's going to rule us. Now, taking that argument, people like Mary Wollstonecraft, who is a prototype of liberal feminist, would say that if all human beings have the right to choose, they're mainly talking about Europe, then women as human beings also have the right to choose. Give us the right to vote. That's the first thing in liberal feminism. This is just one type of feminism. It's not everything. Next, liberal feminism also talks about women's right to education, because women were not allowed public education. Maybe privately they studied, but not public education. Women should have the right to wage labor. Now, please don't make this mistake that women didn't do labor. They did a lot of labor. We talked about this with Aristotle. Women did a lot of labor in the private, in the oikos, with rearing children and so forth, but they did not have exchange value. What is exchange value? We'll go into it when we do Marxist feminism a little bit more. Women had labor, but it was not paid in terms of money. So right to employment and right to self-sufficiency. So this liberal feminism is just a prototype of liberalism. Right to employment, right to earning my own money, right to property also, yes. Most of all, right to choose my own representative, the right to vote, and also the right to education. So we want to be included. So what kind of a model is liberal feminism? It's an assimilative model. It does not question the model that's given by liberalism. It wants to assimilate into the structure that the bourgeoisies brought in post-French Revolution. So it's an assimilative model. So for now, let's understand liberal feminism as not a very revolutionary one, but an assimilative model which tried to empower women through education, voting rights, political rights, representation, and through employment, which is wage labor. And I'm going to come back to wage labor quite a bit more when we do Marxist feminism. So for now, that's all for today. Thank you.